This next section is all about relationships, and the first one is a song from November 2015 called Someone Has to Pay. While she's oh so busy doing all of that air kissing, he's in the spare room playing air guitar, and neither of them knows what the two of them are missing because they've grown apart so very far. She hardly finds time for him with all her socializing. Her husband feels like he's just a recluse. Her sophistication seems to stop her realizing and makes him feel that he's no real use. But someone has to pay for all those lunches with the ladies. Personal trainer and tennis coach are clearly both essential. If he can't afford a Porsche, she'll make do with a Mercedes, but they're both clearly missing out on something quite fundamental. He's no fun, he works too much, so she's always complaining, while he's always overtired from overtime. They hardly ever seem to touch, but he's given up explaining how things used to be when they were in their prime. But someone has to pay. She wants to build a new extension, though they've built the wall between them while he's working in the city. They both see half the picture. The whole never gets a mention, while at night their bed's as cold as their fridge freezer. More's the pity. Next item started life as a poem in 2008, and then became a song in 2017. Now the lyric of the song becomes the next poem, called Passport. He always carried his passport in his jacket's inside pocket, just in case there came a day when he might travel far away and jump aboard a boat or plane to try to find the girl again. He always carried her number on an old postcard she'd sent him from a bedsit in the small French town she'd run to when the affair broke down, a chance to get back to the start with his passport and his broken heart. Somehow it made it possible this way to hold on to his boring job and stay for day after unchanging day, and not to leave his poor dull wife, nor his even duller life. He carried his passport and her number in the same jacket inside pocket, and it somehow kept the hope alive that what they'd shared might still survive, and just knowing that he always could convinced him that perhaps he would. And so another year passed in this mess. He worked and still lived at the same address, and slowly he looked less and less like the passport photo of the man he had been when this all began. They found his passport and her number in his jacket's inside pocket when they tried to find more than the name of the man who'd jumped from a moving train. And when the paramedic made the call, he found that no one knew her there at all. But he'd always carried her number with his passport in his pocket. This next poem owes itself to an awful holiday in a lovely part of France in 2008. It's called French Lesson. Every time I'm close to you, it's just a case of déjà vu. A weekend is the most we share. You treat me like a pied-à-terre. I tried giving you a taste of France, but that was just a wasted chance. You didn't like our cosy gîte. You made me feel I can't compete. You didn't even try to share. You played your role like an au pair. I should have known it from the start. The choice you made was à la carte. No menu at a chic restaurant contained the things you really want. You made it clear you were unsure if what you wanted was amour. I only needed half a chance. I never sought complete carte blanche. Admissions of my past were few. They were like ménage à trois to you. You had baggage of people and places. My past loves are empty suitcases. A fortnight left me too weak to fight. I was glad to reach our final night. The silence on the journey back just underlined how much we lack. By the time we saw the cliffs of Dover, it seemed pretty clear that it was over. The hope that there was so much more was dashed. There would be no encore. I guess if we can't have it all, I'll settle for entente cordiale. This next one is a poem I can hardly remember writing, nor even remember who it was about, but no doubt someone somewhere recognizes themselves in this. It's called Parting Conversation. We've been together now for so many years, hung on to the good times, forgot all the tears. I never believed it would all come to this, you packing and leaving without even a kiss. And all I can remember of the last words you said, I'll take the sofa and you keep the bed. This album is yours, but that book is mine. Whose are those glasses? Just look at the time. He'll be here in an hour, he's borrowed a van. I'll collect my clothes in the car just as soon as I can. I'll leave the toaster and kettle. You said that they match. Could you lend me some money? I'll be starting from scratch. I never believed it would all come to an end. You with someone else saying, I'll still be your friend. This next item was originally a song written in the 1970s called In Spite of Yesterday. Yesterday was all we made it. Every day was less than might have been. The game we play was better left unstated. Now we say it's just a faded dream. And though we tried to give it everything, that's always harder than it seems. Now we lay alone and separated. We can't stay with nothing left between. Though we tried to build a life together, wounded pride would always raise its head. We were tied to old ideas whenever, hurt inside, we held it in instead of trying to explain the feelings and the pain to which they led. We just lied, pretending that we never ever cried from anything that's said. Now we know that everything we've been through serves to show the error of our ways. Even though our motives have been seen through, we won't go from terror of the days before we came to know each other, bad times to which our memory strays. High and low our old house needs a clean through. Friend and foe we watch as it decays. We're both too tired now for rebuilding. A sigh is all that we can raise. We both know we don't do what we mean to. We won't go, in spite of yesterday. This next item was originally a song which I always referred to when I sang it as a sad love song. The last time I performed it in public, I realized it wasn't. It's called I Thought About You. I switched off my alarm. First thing in the morning, that kind of noise could do you harm. And before the sound of its ringing left my head, before I'd even got one foot out of the bed or made up my mind what I had to do, I thought about you. I went down for the post, just a few bills to browse through while waiting for the toast. And before the last record on the breakfast show, before I'd even realized my watch was slow or said I've late for work, that's nothing new, I thought about you. Someone spoke your name and I heard laughter, but I turned around to strangers' faces quite unknown to me. Though there's no real harm and I was calm and collected moments after, familiar thoughts return to where they have no right to be. I switched on my TV, and though I watched till midnight, it meant nothing much to me. And before I gave up waiting for the phone to ring, before I shut my thoughts and eyes from everything, or let those memories come drifting through, I thought about you.